Hello guys, how are you all? Welcome to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Naruto hates female Sasuke, part 1, subscribe if you enjoy the video, let's start the story. 1 week had passed since Naruto and the others had brought back Sasuke. Naruto stared at the comatose boy resting in the bed with an unusually unreadable expression. Sakura and Naruto had taken it upon themselves to take turns watching Sasuke throughout the week, though the distraught girl was incredibly reluctant to let Naruto even get within 5 feet of Sasuke. He thought back to the day after they returned and Sakura's hateful glare. "What did you do to Sasuke-kun, Naruto?" Sakura screamed. "What?" Naruto took a step back, surprised at his teammate. "The doctors say that Sasuke-kun could be in a coma for weeks, months, or even." Sakura hesitated, fearing her own words. "Or even years. What did you do to him?" Naruto gulped and took a deep breath. I was just keeping our promise. I had to do it. To bring him back. You promised me you'd bring him back, but I didn't ask you to kill him in the process." Naruto was confused. What was he supposed to say or do? What should he have done? Sasuke nearly became a missing nin. It had taken all Naruto had to bring Sasuke back alive. Naruto clenched his fist silently. Why couldn't she see that I wanted to bring back Sasuke alive just as much as she did? Why? Get out of here, Naruto. Just get out. She screamed, glaring at Naruto. Turning away, she murmured, "Please, I don't want to see your face right now." The next day he came to see Sasuke. Sakura was there. She greeted him with a sad smile, but Naruto could easily see behind the mask. She still blamed him. She still hated him. She never apologized. Naruto's eyes became sad as he stared at the floor. Why, he thought. I tried my best. The villagers of Konoha had been less receptive to Naruto's return. Not that he expected any thanks from them in the first place, but it seemed to him that they hated him even more, as if it was his fault for Sasuke, Neji, and Choji's conditions. That it was his fault for Sasuke turning to Orochimaru in the first place. It was his fault that Kyuubi killed their friends and family. He remembered one of his birthdays, the day of his birth, and the day of Kyuubi's attack. Look at that monster, smiling, as if he doesn't have a care in the world. Doesn't he care that today is the day of remembrance for the lives that were lost in that fateful battle? Ha! Of course not. After all, he was the one that killed them. That demon brat, he should just die and rot in hell. SHH, he's coming over here. Let's pretend we don't see him. How could they be so cruel to a boy of only 6 years old? Did they truly expect him to know all that? No. They didn't expect anything of him except to continue being the demon they all believed he was. The Sasuke incident was simply yet another thing to blame him for. Naruto raised his gaze to Sasuke, hatred clearly in eyes. I hate you, Sasuke, Naruto thought. I hate you for what you have, what you did, and what you have become. I hate you because you're everything that I'm not. His fist clenched tighter as he felt tears well up in his eyes. I hate you because we're friends, you bastard. Why did you betray us? Why did you turn your back on us? Why? He heard footsteps coming. Quickly, Naruto composed himself. "Hi, Sakura-chan," he said, trying to hide the depression in his voice. Naruto hesitated on adding the suffix. He no longer had a crush on Sakura. He would have given anything to have things the way they were before Sasuke left. They were at least friends then. Now it seemed Sakura was simply tolerating his presence. "How is he?" the girl immediately asked. Naruto shook his head. Sakura and Naruto's eyes widened. The moan came from Sasuke. "Sasuke-kun? Sasuke-kun, are you alright?" Sakura asked, hope in her eyes. She had her hands gently on his shoulders. After a few more moans, Sasuke slowly sat up from his resting position. Sakura was barely holding in her tears. "Oh, thank goodness you're awake." A smile slowly made its way onto Naruto's face. "Sasuke." Instantly, Sasuke tensed. Naruto could feel the temperature in the room drop rapidly. Sasuke turned his eyes to Naruto with an emotionless expression. "Naruto?" Sakura nodded with a smile. "That's right, that's Naruto. He saved you from Orochimaru, just like he promised me he would. I'm so glad you're safe." Naruto color gradually came back to Sasuke's eyes. The color of red. "Naruto." In a ferocious motion, Sasuke lunged from his bed and gripped onto Naruto's throat, squeezing as hard as he could. Naruto had a panicked look as he stared Sasuke back in the eyes, half fearful, half sad. Sasuke. "Sasuke, stop it." Sakura cried out. She hugged him from behind and tried to pull him back. "It's alright now. You don't have to fight anymore. You're back with us. At Konoha." The grip on Naruto's throat slowly eased up until he dropped Naruto on the floor, letting the boy gasp for air, coughing. Sakura, still holding on to Sasuke, told Naruto, "You'd better leave until Sasuke comes to his senses." Naruto merely nodded and headed for the door until 3 words froze him in place. "I hate you," Sasuke growled venomously. "Why? Why?" Naruto gritted his teeth and ran from the hospital as fast as he could, Sasuke's voice still fresh in his mind. I hate you. Days had passed. Sasuke now seemed fully recovered from his mental injuries. Sakura told him that Sasuke didn't mean what he said back there at the hospital. I hate you. That was a lie. Unlike some people, Naruto had no doubt in his mind that Sasuke truly did hate him. Naruto cried himself to sleep that night. Something he hadn't done since he vowed to the people of Konoha that he would become the Hokage one day. He remembered the first time he met Sasuke. The silly accidental kiss. Their first fight with the demon brothers and Sasuke's amazing display of skill. The day when they learned to run up trees using chakra, how they exchanged triumphant grins when they reached the top. The day when he thought Sasuke had died and how enraged he had been. He remembered all the good times they had as well as the bad times. And he remembered how things would never be the same between them ever again. Naruto became increasingly depressed. He no longer had the will to smile and put up the mask as he always did. He could no longer ignore the hateful glares he received as he walked down the streets of Konoha. These were the people that he would be protecting when he became Hokage. People that despised every inch of his being. Could he live with that? Was he willing to live with that? Naruto-kun. Naruto turned around to see Hinata smiling shyly at him. For Hinata, Naruto forced a smile onto his face. Hi Hinata-chan. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. That's good, he said. He saw a blush creep up onto her cheeks as he said that. Naruto's forced smile gradually became genuine. Dear, sweet Hinata. The girl who always stared at him when he thought he wasn't looking and gave him shy little smiles whenever he saw her. Perhaps the only person among genins who didn't blow off his morning greetings. The only person among his peers who saw him for who he really was before he became a genin. Naruto took a step closer to Hinata, still smiling. Hinata. Yes. I like you. Hinata blinked in surprise. What? You're sweet, gentle, and have a lot of strength in here, Naruto said, putting his hand on his heart. The blush on Hinata's cheeks deepened. Thank you, Naruto-kun, she said, smiling. If something happens to me if I went away would you remember me? Of course. I will never forget you, Naruto-kun. She hesitated. You are a very precious person to me Naruto-kun by now, her face was beet red. I can't believe I just said that. Naruto's smile widened. He closed his eyes. Thankfully Naruto began walking away. Where are you going? Hinata asked. Naruto looked over his shoulder, still smiling. For some ramen. Oh okay. He paused for a second before he spoke again. Hinata-chan, can you promise me something? Of course Naruto-kun. Anything. Hinata immediately replied. If anything happens to me, promise me that you'll find happiness. What? Are you leaving? Hinata asked fearfully. Naruto shook his head. I just have a feeling that something's going to happen soon. Things could never be the same after all. Not after all that had happened. Something was going to change, whether he liked it or not. Do you promise? He held out his pinky. Yes. I promise you Naruto-kun. She intertwined her pinky with his, and the promise was made. Grinning, Naruto added, and if nothing happens, you could just forget it I won't forget, Hinata said with complete seriousness. Naruto looked at Hinata in surprise before regaining his grin. Good. Naruto stood atop a cliff within Konoha looking at the moon. He remembered his words to Hinata. He wasn't sure what urged him to say all that, but he felt it was right at the time. He wasn't running away though. No. He would never run away. He would pull through it and endure like he always did. Because he had to. Suddenly, Naruto pulled out a kunai, jumped backwards, and got into a defensive stance. I know you're there. Come out. Oh? I see you've gotten better since I last saw you. A man in a dark cloak stepped out of the shadows. A man with red eyes. Naruto instantly froze, his hand holding the kunai shaking. Why you? Itachi stared at Naruto with his cold gaze. It is time. You are coming with me. Naruto gritted his teeth and forced his muscles to relax. He would not freeze up like he did. He would fight. No. Throwing several kunai in Itachi's direction while running away, Naruto leapt off the cliff and headed as fast as he could toward the village. I gotta get help. There was a difference between running away and a tactical retreat. This was the latter. Naruto was headstrong but not insane. Itachi was an S-class criminal who some say was even stronger than Orochimaru. The cold shiver rushed through his spine as memories of what the Sharingan user did to Sasuke and Kakashi while barely lifting a finger. You can't run, he heard from behind him. Maybe he couldn't run far, but thankfully he wasn't that far from the Konoha markets. Once he saw a few people standing out on the streets, he screamed, help. Help me of. Naruto was cut off as Itachi slammed foot into his back, sending him sprawling into the ground. They turned to Naruto with an annoyed expression at first, but that quickly turned to fear as they saw who was chasing him. They backed up in fear. Isn't that true? It's Uchiha Itachi. The betrayer who killed his whole clan and abandoned Konoha. Grabbing Naruto roughly by the neck, Itachi addressed his witnesses. I am taking him with me. If anyone tries to stop me I will kill you. As Naruto struggled to get free of Itachi's vice-like grasp, he looked at the people with a pleading expression and said, Please. Someone get help." Not a single person moved. In fact, people in the surrounding houses actually closed their windows. Tears began falling from his eyes. Please somebody anybody, but no one said or did anything. They simply looked away uncomfortably. Itachi, a flurry of kunai and shuriken flew at the kidnapper, but he took a few hops backwards and turned to his attacker calmly. Sasuke. Sasuke glared at the man with his Sharingan berserk eyes. "I will kill you." Itachi scoffed, looking unamused. "Please. You are still far too weak for me to even acknowledge your presence. I heard how you became Orochimaru's puppet and how he roughly held Naruto up in the air who was still struggling. A pathetic boy had to save you. How sad." Sasuke flinched. Shut up. I'll kill you and get vengeance for the clan and our parents." Itachi held Naruto in front of him, placing a kunai against the boy's neck. Naruto quickly stopped struggling as the kunai was pressed against his skin hard enough to draw blood. "If you attack me I will kill this boy." Naruto looked at Sasuke, hope in his eyes. "Sasuke, help." Words could not reach the Avenger. Sasuke charged forward, kunai in hand, and screamed, "Die." The cold, sharp metal slid across Naruto's neck and a spray of blood gushed out. Itachi pushed Naruto to the ground. The darkness slowly engulfed Naruto. As he fell, with tears rolling down his cheeks, he looked at Sasuke with his innocent eyes. The look of betrayal was clearly written on his face. Why? Sasuke could only see one thing in his tunnel vision, unfortunately. The only thing he'd seen for the past 6 years. Itachi. And so, Sasuke, his face soaked in Naruto's own blood, ran past the boy without blinking an eye and thrust his weapon at Itachi. Itachi parried with a kunai of his own. As he looked at Sasuke's enraged face, his eyes seemed sad. He closed his eyes, then opened them again. "You proved me wrong, Sasuke. You have grown stronger. Good. But it is not your time yet." With that, Itachi put a large amount of chakra into his other hand and shoved his fist into Sasuke's stomach. Sasuke clutched his stomach as he doubled over, his consciousness fading. "I will kill you one day." Itachi stared emotionlessly at Sasuke. "One day. You will one day, Sasuke. Until next time, little brother." Naruto couldn't see what happened next, for Naruto had died. What is this darkness? It's warm. No one hates me here. I see a light. It's cold. I don't like it. I turn my back on the light and embrace the darkness. It feels good. Naruto woke. No, he had not died that day. After finishing with his brother, Itachi had escaped with Naruto's body. He performed a short on Naruto's body and began applying a medicine to the cut. The dagger Itachi had slit Naruto's throat with was a special dagger that had been dipped in a special healing ointment. Although Naruto's body was alive, part of him truly did die that day. It was a piece of him that he would never get back. Awake at last, I see. He wasn't alone. Naruto, who was flat on his back, did not bother trying to move. He only moved his eyes to the source of the voice. Itachi. He remembered. "What are you going to do with me?" Naruto murmured. "I will take you to Akatsuki's base, and then we will turn you into a finely honed weapon. We will make use of your powers, unlike Konoha." "Konoha, my dream is to become Hokage and make everyone acknowledge me." "Take me back," Naruto protested weakly. Itachi raised an eyebrow. "You still want to go back there? Even after all that has happened? You would go back to a place where everyone despises you and wishes you dead? Where not a single person lifted a finger when you were in need of help? I just don't want to run away." Itachi looked at Naruto in surprise. He had to admit, he was impressed by the amount of willpower Naruto displayed. "Interesting. Unfortunately, I cannot comply with your request. You will be better off in Akatsuki anyways. We will train you to make use of Kyuubi and make you more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Help. Help me." Tears began falling from his eyes. "Please somebody anybody," but no one said or did anything. They simply looked away uncomfortably. "I don't need your help. I don't need anyone," Naruto murmured. A small bitter smile surfaced onto Itachi's features. "That attitude will make you strong. Don't worry, one day you will return to Konoha. When that day comes you will be more powerful than the Hokage himself. Then no one will be able to look away." Naruto said nothing. Silently though, he clenched his fist and repeated Itachi's words to himself. Tsunade looked down at a file on her desk with sadness in her eyes. She gently pressed her fingers against the picture before her. The file read, Uzumaki Naruto. Age. 13. Deceased. After Itachi had killed Naruto and taken his body, Tsunade sent out numerous ambush squads in a furious attempt to locate Itachi, but to no avail. Eventually the 5th Hokage was forced to label the boy as a Kia killed in action, no matter how much she didn't want to. Sasuke himself said he had seen Naruto die, and there was no doubt that Itachi had taken the boy's body because he was a. As tragic as it was, Konoha had moved on rather quickly after Naruto's death. After all, ninjas die every day. What was one more genin? The only difference was that this genin just happened to be the vessel of the demon Kyuubi. As far as the Hidden Leaf Village was concerned, good riddance. Only a few select were actually affected by the absence of the hyperactive ninja, and those were mainly the rookie genins. Shikamaru, Niji, Kiba and Choji had all gained a new respect for Naruto when they went to get Sasuke back. They had fought and bled together. Hinata was also deeply hurt by Naruto's disappearance. She remembered their conversation they had earlier that day. For a whole week she cooped herself up in her room, not speaking to anyone. But then she remembered her promise to Naruto. For him, Hinata would be strong. Of all the genins though, the ones that were most affected were of course Naruto's own team. Sakura still remembered and deeply regretted her words and attitude toward Naruto the past week. No more would she hear the constant calls of Sakura-chan. And now she could never tell Naruto how truly sorry she was. Only now could she admit that she truly missed and cared for the loud ninja. As for Sasuke, Itachi held Naruto in front of him, placing a kunai against the boy's neck. Naruto quickly stopped struggling as the kunai was pressed against his skin hard enough to draw blood. If you attack me I will kill this boy. Naruto looked at Sasuke, hope in his eyes. Sasuke help. Sasuke twisted in his sleep. The cold, sharp metal slid across Naruto's neck and a spray of blood gushed out. Itachi pushed Naruto to the ground. The darkness slowly engulfed Naruto. As he fell, with tears rolling down his cheeks, he looked at Sasuke with his wife, innocent eyes. The look of betrayal was clearly written on his face. Why? Sasuke could almost hear coming from the boy, his dead eyes piercing through his Sharingan. Sasuke awoke suddenly in a cold sweat. That dream again, he started, his voice shaking. No, not a dream, a nightmare on Naruto. Sasuke stifled a cry. I'm sorry. Wiping away his dry, salty tears, Sasuke tried to go back to sleep. Itachi and Naruto arrived at Akatsuki's base rather quickly. During that time, Naruto had once tried to escape from Itachi and failed miserably. That was his only attempt. Why bother? He began to ask himself. The boy was in an even deeper depression than he was before he left Konoha. A part of him died that day and would never return. No matter how hard he tried, Naruto simply could not put on his fake smile anymore. Akatsuki, located in the depths of a complex cavern, was a mysterious and morbid place, similar to the leaders of the organization. Itachi and Kisame lead Naruto through various corridors before entering a large chamber. In the center of the room was a gigantic statue whose hands protruded out from the ground. It had 10 closed eyes, and on each of its fingers were figures shrouded in shadows. Naruto looked at the statue, and a shiver ran up his spine. He couldn't shake this ominous feeling the statue gave him. So this is the vessel of Kyuubi, one of the shadows asked. Yes, Itachi answered. Another shadow nodded his head. I can feel an enormous power within the boy. One shadow seemed to chuckle. Konoha were fools. To have the strength of a demon in the palm of their hands, and yet all they do is shun and ignore it. How foolish. Suna is no better though. Although they attempted to control the boy, they failed miserably. The boy is a loose cannon. I am certain that he would have slaughtered the entire village one day had he not been given proper training. Most likely, Itachi agreed. We will not make that mistake however. Kisame, where is the other that you captured? In the holding cells, Kisame stated. I have decided that you and Itachi will handle both the boys for their initial training unless you two have any objections. No, Itachi replied. Kisame, however, frowned. Wouldn't Itachi-san and my skills be put to better use in capturing the remaining? Clearly, we have had the most success out of everyone. Don't get cocky, you arrogant shark. One of the shadows snapped. Kakuzu and I have been busy waging war for the Tsuchikage. If you want to use that excuse, be my guest, Kisame replied coolly. Why you? I would be willing to train them, interjecting another shadow. The Kyuubi vessel intrigues after what he did to Sasuke-kun. You? Ha! Scoffed a shadow. Don't be ridiculous, Orochimaru. You would be more likely to take over their bodies than train them even since the Hokage took your arms. I appreciate the offer of Orochimaru but no, the main shadow said. I believe that Itachi and Kisame will be the best for the job, especially with Itachi's knowledge of seals. The rest of you will continue hunting down the others and increasing our rapport with the other villages. HMPH. Very well, Kisame relented. I will aid Itachi in training them. Good. Start the training immediately. Kisame and Itachi ushered Naruto outside and took him to a prison cell. They shoved him inside. Wait here, Itachi said. The two Akatsuki's members left. That's when Naruto saw him. The boy who had nearly killed Lee and Sakura and who had aided in the raid against Konohagara. The of the tailed beast Shukaku. He was sitting by himself, huddled in the corner with his knees against his chest. As Naruto walked into the room, Gaara's head snapped up and locked eyes with Naruto. They stared at each other for a long moment, neither saying a word. "You?" Gaara said, devoid of any emotion. Naruto wasn't sure of what to say. Gaara was a bitter enemy, one who had not hesitated in attempting to kill his friends and had almost completely incapacitated one. On the other hand, Gaara was also just like him and in the same situation. Thankfully, Itachi and Kisame returned, breaking the pregnant silence. "I trust you have met this boy before. He will be training with you. Now follow us." Gaara and Naruto silently followed Itachi and Kisame as the men led them to a training room. Naruto couldn't help but keep sneaking glances at the other boy. What did he think of all this? Would he cooperate? Or would he try to escape back to Sunagakure? "What are you looking at?" Gaara spoke suddenly with a brisk coldness, interrupting Naruto's thoughts. Naruto frowned, his brows furrowing. "I was just wondering what you thought about this whole situation." Naruto lowered his voice and whispered, "Are you going to try to escape back to Sunagakure?" Gaara didn't speak for a moment. He turned away and, as he spoke, his voice became distant. "Why bother? I could care less about those weaklings. I will use this Akatsuki to make me stronger and then I will kill them all." Naruto nervously glanced at the pair of Akatsuki ahead of them. "SHH, whisper. I think they can hear you." "I don't care." Out in front, Kisame chuckled. Naruto wondered about what Gaara had said though. Why should he care? They certainly didn't. Naruto looked at Sasuke, hope in his eyes. Sasuke, help." He quickly shook his head violently at the painful memories still fresh in his mind. Who cares about that bastard anyways? "I don't need his help, I don't need anyone." Gaara watched Naruto's troubled eyes with an unreadable expression. Once they arrived at the training area, Itachi asked the boys to state their weaknesses. Naruto pondered on the question for a bit. The old Naruto probably would have said that he didn't have any. What was his weakness? "I don't know that many, I guess." "I have no weaknesses," Gaara stated. "Liar." Naruto immediately said. "Your weakness is that you're physically slow and your taijutsu sucks." Gaara gazed coldly at Naruto. "You think you know me?" Naruto returned the gaze with a glare. "I've beaten you before, I can beat you again." "Quiet down you punks," Kisame said, swinging his bandaged sword in between them. Naruto complied and, surprisingly, so did Gaara, though a faint HMPH could be heard. "For the beginning training, we will devote half to working on your weaknesses. The other half will be used to train the tailed beasts within you," Itachi said. The latter surprised both of them. "How are you going to do that?" Naruto asked. "You'll see," he simply said. The training had begun. Kisame spends most of the time viciously beating into Gaara, breaking through his sand armor, while giving him pointers about how to dodge and other ways of defending besides his sand. Throughout this, it was visibly clear that Gaara was having an extremely difficult time restraining himself and Shukaku. "Come on, you can do better than that," Kisame berated. "Just wait until I can control Shukaku," Gaara thought angrily. "Then they can all die." While this was going on, Itachi spent the time trying to teach Naruto a few defensive elements since he knew none. They weren't having much success. "Pathetic. That looked nothing like I showed you," Itachi said harshly. Naruto glared at his new teacher. "Well, unlike you I don't have a stupid Sharingan to help me." Itachi stared at Naruto for a moment with a cold calculated expression. Then he said, "I'm sure my little brother would have picked it up in no time." Naruto instantly clenched his fist and attained a serious expression on his face. Narrowing his eyes, he concentrated and performed the seals. Throwing his palms onto the ground, he shouted, "Doten. Doryu Heki." Itachi looked at the result. Horrible attempt. Naruto grimaced as he looked at what he had done. A very small stone wall had formed that barely went up to his knee. Kisame looked over and laughed. "Ha ha, what are you doing, Itachi-san? Teaching him how to trip someone?" Itachi ignored Kisame. "Let us move on to training your tailed beasts." He walked over to Gaara. "Release your sand armor and lift up your shirt." Gaara looked like he was going to refuse but did. The sand oozed off and onto the ground and he pulled up his shirt. As soon as the sand was off, Itachi formed several seals, then pulled back his palm. With his fingertips burning of blue flames, he smashed his open palm into Gaara's stomach. Gaara flew backwards onto the ground and clutched his stomach in pain. "Hey! What did he do that for?" Naruto shouted angrily. He tried to approach Itachi, but Kisame held him back with a hand. "You'll see," Kisame stated. Gaara gradually got up off the ground on one knee and gave Itachi a bloodthirsty glare. "Why do ribbons of sand begin swirling about the boy? I'll kill you. Is it not easier to control the sand now?" Itachi asked, not in the least intimidated by Gaara. Gaara blinked. He held up his hand and saw the sand flowing around his arm freely. It was easier. True, he did have control of the sand before, but now he could do it effortlessly. He could probably perform the Sabaku Kaiu with just a single thought now. "What did you do?" "I performed a seal on you." It allows Shukaku's chakra to freely combine with your own, Itachi explained. It took me a very long time to find and learn that seal. It is one of the reasons I am the one supervising your training. Gaara looked at himself, shocked. However, you will need to speak to Shukaku. Speak to Shukaku? Itachi walked over to Gaara. Stare into my eyes. Gaara complied. Itachi's Sharingan morphed into that of the Manjikyu Sharingan, and soon Gaara was hypnotized to sleep. Naruto got into a defensive stance. What did you do to him? He is in a dream state where he should be talking to his tailed beast. Now for you. Lift up your shirt. Naruto did so, and Itachi did the same thing to Naruto that he did to Gaara. Ow. Now you need to speak with Kyuubi, Naruto stated. Raising an eyebrow, Naruto smartly uttered, huh? How am I supposed to do that? Look into my eyes. Naruto did so, frightened at first. It wasn't long though before he became memorized by the Manjikyu Sharingan and slipped into a deep sleep. Naruto opened his eyes and looked around. While waiting he whipped around and saw a gigantic gate behind him. Here again. Naruto gulped as he began to sweat. The boy never enjoyed confrontations with his inner beast. Who would? I guess I better go in. Naruto walked up to the gate, grabbed the bars, Kyuubi. The gate moaned and gradually creaked open. At first, the only thing he saw on the other side was a pitch-black darkness, but Naruto knew better. It only took a moment for the tailed beast's spiritual form of Kyuubi to appear, his chakra whipping all about. The enormous eyes peered at Naruto, as if burning a hole straight through his chest. What do you want, boy? It growled. Naruto felt flustered. What the hell was he supposed to say? Itachi never enlightened him on that part. Eventually Kyuubi became impatient. Well. Are you going to just stand there, stuttering like a fool, or are you going to speak up? At that, Naruto glared angrily at the beast. Shut up. This is your damn fault you know. It's because of you that everyone hates and despises me. And? Naruto blinked, surprised at Kyuubi's reply. Do you think I like this any more than you? Being stuck inside a pitiful weakling human? What? I'm not pitiful or weak. Naruto shouted back. Oh? Showing some backbone for once are you? Even after letting those pathetic humans step all over you all this time? Kyuubi seemed to chuckle at the frustrated look the boy was displaying. Then speak up and tell me what you want, a little man. The boy was silent for a moment. Appearing to make a decision, Naruto clenched his fist and yelled at the tailed beast, give me your power. The fox demon laughed yet again. Why should I? As if you don't use enough of it already. What are you going to do with my power? I'll force everyone to acknowledge me. I'll show them all. I'll say to everyone, this is me. Look at how strong I am. Acknowledge my strength. And then they won't ever be able to look away from me ever again. Naruto cried out. All the years of pent-up anger and depression that had been hidden deep within the boy finally seemed to be pouring out. Even if they look at you with fear and hatred in their eyes. Naruto chuckled with a strange tinge of darkness. Since when have they not? He asked. I don't care anymore. Whether they like it or not, I'll make them respect my strength even if it is out of fear. Oh? And if my power drives you so berserk that you want to massacre the place you call home? What will you do then? Home? Naruto thought about all the people in Konoha and their glares of hatred. He thought about his former crush, Sakura. He thought about how no one cared at all when his life was in danger. He thought of Sasuke. You don't understand what I already do, Naruto snarled. At that, Kyuubi grinned ferociously, displaying his bloodthirsty canines. Then we want the same thing. Very well then. My power is yours to use from this day on. You are Naruto Uzumaki of Konoha no more. You may know my true name now. It is Kurama. Sunagakur Hidden Village of Sand, Suna Sand, all real from Naruto, Manjikyu Sharingan. Kaleidoscope Copy Relai, Oten. Doryu Heki. Earth Style Wall, Sabaku Kaiu. Sand Coffin. 2 months had passed since Gaara and Naruto's training had begun. We're going on a mission, Itachi stated suddenly. Eh? Naruto pondered, raising an eyebrow. We are to sneak into a Wagakure located between the Land of Earth and Land of Wind, Itachi began explaining. Kisame, Gaara and Naruto gathered around him. Itachi held up a roughly drawn map of the village that had various colored dots on it. The target is here, in this mansion. His name is Kirasaga Rafa, right hand of the powerful crime lord. We are to assassinate him and kill anyone who spots us. Gaara and Kisame took all this in, accepting it, but Naruto appeared a bit anxious. Kill? We have to kill them? Yes, Naruto. That is what we have been contracted to do, Itachi stated. Normally, Akatsuki did not do simple jobs such as this, but this was more of a test for their new disciples. It was designed to test their ability to do battle effectively and efficiently without any qualms or objections. This was very important for a ninja and the type of weapons Akatsuki wanted to turn the boys into. Kisame and I will take care of Kirasaga. Gaara, you will head through the front and make a distraction. They should not have any high-class ninja employed, so I trust it will be nothing you cannot handle. Gaara nodded. He knew what making a distraction was and had no problems with that. Itachi turned to Naruto, who still looked uneasy. You will hold the entrance to the mansion from outside and make sure no one else enters, as they may call for reinforcements. Do you understand, Naruto? Yeah, I got it, Naruto said, trying to steady his voice. This would be his first assassination mission ever. Let's go. It didn't take them long to journey into the country where Wagakure was located. They were now only a couple days outside of the hidden village. Kisame and Itachi were huddled around a small campfire, discussing something. Gaara and Naruto were currently on the lookout. Gaara was looking stoic as ever as he stared out into the rocky cliffs. Naruto was beside and appeared to be in deep thought. Can I really kill when the time comes? He wondered to himself. He thought about Konoha. The rage and anger immediately built up within him. Then Naruto thought of Hinata and Iruka. He couldn't bring himself to hurt them. He thought of Sakura. Even though Naruto was deeply hurt by her words and actions, could he really bring himself to kill her if he was face to face with her? And if he couldn't kill people that hated and abused him, how could Naruto possibly bring himself to take the life of a complete stranger who had done nothing to him? He didn't know. The four ninjas of Akatsuki watched the mansion from afar, hidden in the darkness of night amongst the jagged cliff surrounding rock. Itachi glanced over at Naruto and Gaara, gave them a few hand signals, and headed off toward the back of the mansion with Kisame. Gaara and Naruto nodded, acknowledging the signals. A few minutes passed before Gaara started to move out, leaving Naruto by himself. To say that Naruto was nervous was understatement. He was extremely anxious. Not only was this his first mission in months, it was also his first killing mission, as well his first mission outside of Konoha. What if something went wrong? Or what if the guy had a family? Would they have to die too? Itachi assured him that the man had no family, but what if he was wrong? Naruto shook his head. No use worrying about that now. Focusing his attention, he studied Gaara. The front of the mansion was guarded only by two men, but who knew what was on the other side of that door? Gaara calmly walked up to the door, his arms crossed in front of his chest, and eyed the two men. The guard seemed to be asking what Gaara was doing, but he didn't reply. They looked at each other, becoming alarmed, and began approaching Gaara. One of them looked like he was about to grab him, but the guard was abruptly thrown off his feet as a huge fist of sand pummeling into his chest. The man tumbled into his fellow guard and they flew even further, crashing through the wooden door entrance. Naruto could not see what happened next as Gaara was now inside the mansion. By the looks of it, it appeared the boy would have no problems handling himself, which was, as suspected. Now all Naruto had to do was watch Gaara's back. Please no one come, Naruto chanted to himself. 1 minute passed, though it seemed like an eternity for Naruto. He sighed, whispering to himself, I hope they finish up soon. Naruto whipped his eyes toward the road as the sound of footsteps reached his sensitive ears. It wasn't long before 5 men entered his view, heading towards the mansion. Naruto held up a kunai. What should I do? I don't want to kill them. But Itachi said if they see us, we have to wait. That's it. Forming a few seals, Naruto whispered, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. What appeared beside Naruto were not several identical clones, however. Instead he created several figures that took the form of an Anbu member. Quickly wrapping around himself as well, Naruto and his clones charged into the unsuspecting men. All the men seemed to be normal guards, so they weren't much of a lot for Naruto and his clones. Who are you? The guard managed to get out just before Naruto socked him in the stomach and followed up with an uppercut to his chin. The man flew back onto the ground, unconscious. There, Naruto said, breathing a sigh of relief. He didn't have to kill anyone yet. After making his clones vanish, he decided to check in on Gaara and headed into the mansion. Oddly, he didn't see the 2 guards Gaara had initially confronted. The only thing that lay in the long beginning hallway was a trail of blood leading into another room. Filled with dread, Naruto followed the trail of blood to the doors and opened them. What he saw in the next room made him sick to his stomach. Bloody, gutted bodies were scattered everywhere throughout the room. The stench of the blood was almost overwhelming for Naruto. In the middle of all the carnage, he saw Gaara with a crazed look on his face, and above was a man encased in a hand of sand. Naruto recognized the move. Gaara, stop. The bloodthirsty eyes snapped to Naruto, piercing through him. Naruto flinched, but didn't back down. Don't do it. The eyes became angered. Stay out of my way, he growled. This is our job. But you don't have to kill them like that, Gaara scoffed. What does it matter in the end? A dead body is a dead body. Please. You don't have to listen to your demon anymore. Slightly surprised at the statement, Gaara's grip loosened slightly, allowing the man to drop from the sand and onto the floor, unconscious. Kill him. Kill them. Kill them. Kill them all. Shukaku's voice raged inside Gaara's mind. Gaara shook his head furiously, moaning, and put a hand to his temple. The moment he acquired the killer intent, the tailed beast's cries barraged him in full force. He looked at Naruto, glaring. What would you know? You know nothing of the pain I feel. I heard about the seal you have, and it is nothing like mine. I have to fight for control with Shukaku. Every waking minute is an endless battle. Gaara's eyes became unfocused and shaky. You have no idea this is the only way that I can satisfy his hunger. The fool didn't understand. No one did. That is why he would be alone always. No. You can keep fighting. Naruto shouted at him. If you give in to his hunger then you've already lost the fight. It's not that easy. Kill him now. Gaara cried out in pain, falling to his knees. Gaara, shut up. Gaara shouted furiously. He thrust his hand at Naruto. A wave of sand rushed to the wide-eyed Naruto. Having no way out, Naruto shut his eyes and braced himself with arms out in front. He waited for the blow to come, but it never did. Slowly, he opened his eyes to see that the sand had not attacked him. Make sure your targets are dead next time, Gaara stated icily. Surprised, Naruto looked behind and saw the sand wrapped around one of the guards he had thought he had defeated outside. Gaara stared at the man in his grasp, peering into his prey's fearful eyes. Gaara kept staring, waiting to feel something with the man's life in his palm, but it never came. I silenced Shukaku. He thought to himself, amazed. He didn't know whether it was Naruto's encouraging words or Itachi's new seal, but Gaara had finally managed to defeat his inner demon for self-control. At least for now, but a victory was a victory. Coming out of his deep thoughts, he gazed at his victim. I could kill this man right now with the Sabaku Kaiu. Gaara Naruto managed. I thought I could get away without killing anyone, but if Gaara hadn't saved me, I might have been dead by now. The boy looked at the man within the sand's grasp, whose eyes looked like that of a rabid dog about to be put down. And now, because of me, this man is going to be tortured to death by the Sabaku. Naruto turned his eyes away, unable to look at the result of his actions. This is all my fault. Shaoshin. Huh? Naruto gaped. Instead of seeing a man implode within the hand of sand, he only saw the man's eyes go blank for a second before his head dropped limp. What did you do? I used the sand to force an extreme amount of pressure onto his heart, stopping it from functioning. It is an instant death, Gaara stated. A small smile formed on Naruto's lips. Gaara he started, but was cut off. Next time I won't clean up your mess, weakling, the boy of sand said coldly. Naruto flinched visibly. Sorry. Gaara shoved past Naruto, throwing the boy off balance, and walked out of the mansion. Naruto. Naruto turned to see Itachi behind him with his usual expressionless facade. You did not kill the guards. It was a statement, not a question. No, Naruto began, wincing at Itachi's tone. I thought I could beat them without. Itachi cut in. You were not ordered to think. You were told to kill anyone who tries to enter the building. Naruto protested, but you said only to kill people that see us, so I just used and. Do you think that makes any difference? Itachi asked coldly. I saw what happened. What would you have done had Gaara not been there? The distraught ninja didn't reply because he knew where Itachi was going and knew he was right. Naruto, tell me this, Naruto. What are you? Tell me what you are. What have you been training to become? I'm a ninja. Naruto started slowly, not seeing what Itachi was getting at. Itachi nodded. That's right. A ninja. What is Konoha, Naruto? It's at a village of ninjas. Naruto still didn't see where he was going, but continued to answer the questions anyways. Right. Konoha is a hidden village of ninja. You have been training since the age of 6 to become a ninja, to become good at what you do, Itachi explained. Do not disguise what a ninja is. We are elite bodyguards, spies, and assassins. We are killers. Murderers. Call it whatever you want, but we are the hand of death. You have been trained since you were a child to learn how to become a good killer. Do you understand that? Realization gradually lit up in Naruto's eyes as Itachi's words struck a chord. He was right. Every single, all the genins, all the children in the academy, they were all trained killers. Everything that Naruto learned at the academy was how to be stealthy and how to decapitate opponents quickly and efficiently. The very first thing children learned in the academy was how to throw a kunai. A sharp metal weapon created to pierce through human flesh. Why didn't he realize it sooner? Even if he had not been kidnapped by Akatsuki, he would have inevitably been given a mission to kill from Konoha. Think about that. Itachi walked past Naruto and through the exit. Ninjas are killers. On the way back to Akatsuki's home base, Naruto and Gaara were once again on watch. Neither had spoken to each other since the mission. Naruto cast a quick glance toward his companion. After a moment's hesitation, he spoke up. Hey Gaara, what? Do you ever miss Suna? No, came the immediate answer. But what about your brother and sister? Don't you miss them? Even just a little? Naruto asked. Gaara said nothing. Naruto sighed. Looking away from Gaara, he turned to the scenery. I don't know what I'm getting at. Sometimes I don't know if this is the right choice. For a long time no one said anything. Gaara glanced at Naruto. The boy was still thinking to himself, his eyes clearly displaying a struggle. He has changed so much, Gaara thought. The boy before Gaara seemed merely a shell of his former overconfident self. During the 2 months of training with Naruto, he realized that this Naruto was nothing like the ninja who had made Gaara realize that he didn't have to be alone and that he had a choice. This is my way of the ninja. It was this memory that made Gaara speak up contrary to his normal judgment. I don't know what has happened to you, Gaara began, catching Naruto's attention, but I'm disappointed in what you have become. You disappoint me. What? Naruto said, surprised. Gaara stared into Naruto's eyes coldly, unblinking. The ninja I knew during the exams, the person who shamelessly defeated me to defend the life of his comrades, was not one to doubt his own decisions. You always had full confidence in the actions you took and you never looked back. You were one who looked forward. Always. Before Naruto could respond, Gaara took off. Never look back, huh? Naruto whispered to himself. Naruto's first kill was nothing special. The man had been a former Anbu that was working as a mercenary. He had been guarding their target, which was unfortunate for him. Naruto killed him with a well-placed kunai into his heart. He died almost instantly. His first kill. There were no extraordinary emotions that he felt when the deed had finally been done. There was no sadness in his heart for killing the stranger, nor was there a feeling of enjoyment, something that he had at first feared would happen. He simply didn't feel anything. He was just getting the job done. Although this had been his first kill, this had not been the first time he had seen a dead body, not by far. What should I be feeling? Naruto wondered to himself, confused. Shouldn't I be feeling sad that I have just taken the life of another human being? But he's a mercenary. He accepted the dangers of his job. He would have died eventually. No one lives forever. What difference does it make that I was the one that killed him? If I hadn't done it, some other ninja would have. Naruto held up his blood-soaked kunai and stared at it intently. Gripping the handle tightly, he murmured to himself, this is the life that I have chosen. The whispered statement marked the end of Naruto's childhood innocence and the beginning of a new path. 3 years have passed since that time. The day was bright and sunny with a clear blue sky over Konoha. 2 young men were slowly walking up to the gates of the hidden village. The men were both garbed in light black cloaks that were red on the inside. The collars of the cloaks were open, revealing masks that resembled the hunter nin masks. At the forehead of the masks a symbol of a crescent moon was etched. Both masks were identical except for 2 distinctions. One mask had 3 long whisker-type markings on both sides of the cheeks, and the other mask had the character for love written in the upper corner of it. The whiskered masked man had yellow eyes and bright wild blonde hair that appeared reminiscent of the 4th Hokage from the monument that towered high above Konoha. The love-marked masked man had short, spiky red hair and carried a large, oversized red gourd on his back. The men were only slightly shorter than average adult height, that suggested they still had not yet grown to their full length yet. The 2 made their way to the gates of Konoha that were guarded by 2 men. State your name and purpose please, the guard immediately asked. I'm Tenma and he's Akuma, the blonde man said, taking out his passport. We are from Tsukigakure. We're here to take the exam. The guards glanced at the passports before nodding and stepping aside. The 2 walked into the village. Konoha, the blonde-haired man whispered in a whimsical tone. Iridid looked over at his companion. Naruto. Naruto shook his head to himself. Don't worry about me, Gaara, I'm fine. It just feels weird coming back after so long. Both spoke in very low tones so that only they could hear each other's words. Gaara nodded, then looked around. Where is your shadow? He shrugged. Scoping out the area, I think. I told him to search for possible places where they might be keeping them. I see. They continued to walk in silence for a moment until Naruto spoke up suddenly. Hey, let's go get some ramen. Ramen? Yup, ramen. We have an hour to kill, and we can let my shadow do most of the information gathering. Gaara simply shook his head but followed Naruto to a nearby ramen stand. Welcome. The man behind the counter greeted them as they sat down on the stools. What would you like to order for today? Beef ramen please, Naruto answered. Same, Gaara said. Gotcha. Coming right up. They received orders rather quickly and began eating. They managed to eat with their masks on by tilting them up slightly and slipping the food underneath. Welcome. What can I get you 3 for today? Gaara and Naruto continued to eat silently as the other customers came and sat up at the counter beside them. Give us 3 super-sized special ramen. Chaoji shouted. Today's a special occasion because our buddy here's taking the exam. Hey. Don't order for me. I have to stay on a strict diet, you know. Ino said. Shikamaru rolled his eyes. Geez, what for? You look fine if you ask me. Ino blushed slightly. Really? Yeah. A little baby fat never hurt anyone, oh ow. Shikamaru rubbed the back of his head. What did you hit me for? Ino glared. You know why, you jerk. Shikamaru crossed his arms. HMPH. So troublesome. Man, can't you 2 get a room? Chaoji cut in. What? Both said in surprise. Zhaoji smirked. At least wait until after Shikamaru becomes A, and then you two can celebrate. I don't know what you're talking about, Zhaoji. Ino angrily protested. Why yeah, Shikamaru agreed. Anyways, I don't see what the big deal is. I don't know why they had to force me to take this troublesome exam. Well, you were supposed to take it last time, you dummy. Ino told him. Yeah. Zhaoji agreed. These only happen once every year, you know. By the way, who's your partner? Ino wondered curiously. Everyone has to be in teams of 2 for this year's exam, right? Shikamaru nodded, but looked annoyed. Yeah. It's bad enough that I have to take part in the exam in the first place, but now I gotta be stuck with someone the whole time. Great, I don't think that's a bad thing, Shikamaru. You could just let your partner do all the work. Zhaoji said with a grin. Not my style. So who is he? Ino asked again. The Hyuga. Ino raised an eyebrow. Hinata. No. Hinata's with Kiba, not surprisingly. My partner is Niji. He's still a Zhaoji said, surprised. Yeah, for one reason or another. To think of it, Ino started with a thoughtful expression. She knows the only one of us from the old rookie genin pack that's already a huh. Who would have thought? Isn't he in the Anbu? Yeah. Shikamaru froze in mid-sentence abruptly, his eyes going wide. His companions looked at him curiously. What's the matter with Shikamaru? Shikamaru didn't reply as he snapped his head to the empty seats beside them. What the hell? I didn't even feel them move. How the hell did they vanish so quickly without me noticing? He thought to himself. It's like they were never there to begin with, like ghosts. Shikamaru. Ino bonked the young man across the back of his head. Ow. What did you do for that woman? Shikamaru said, glaring. Because you were zoning out and ignoring us, you lazy bum. Ino replied, returning the glare. Shikamaru rubbed his head softly. Geez, troublesome girl, he muttered under his breath. What was that? Nothing silently, the thought, who were those two? Naruto and Gaara walked up to the exam building and could see 3 figures standing in front of the entrance. Naruto's eyes widened as recognition dawned on him. He felt his heart stop and his pulse increase. With each step, Naruto's blood began to boil within him. It was him. Naruto gritted his teeth and clenched his fist. Naruto, Gaara said in a low tone, it is not yet time. Remember the plan. We're supposed to keep a low profile until the tournament. Slowly, Naruto's fist unclenched. Ha, funny hearing that from you. Don't worry, I'll control myself, we'll be fighting sooner or later anyways. As they got closer, their conversation reached their ears. I don't see why I have to be stuck with this idiot, Sasuke muttered. It's the only way I can assure that no one else defeats you but me, Sasuke-kun. Lee said enthusiastically. Because we are eternal rivals. Sasuke rolled his eyes while their third companion giggled at them. Well, good luck you two. Sakura told them. I better get going now. Look at them, those cherry, oblivious idiots. I should kill Sasuke right now, right here, Naruto thought to himself in anger. It looks like nothing changed at all in the secluded happy-go-lucky village of ninja while I was away. It's no wonder I was so ignorant when I was living here. Naruto cleared his throat and said in a cold voice, excuse us. All 3 looked surprised, having not even noticed the newcomer's presence. 2 figures dressed in dark cloaks and hunter-nin face masks met their eyes. Oh, sorry, Sakura said, stepping aside. Sasuke and Lee did likewise. As Naruto passed Sasuke, he met Uchiha's eyes for a brief second, then broke contact. A sharp, powerful force suddenly pressed into Sasuke's chest, halting his breath before it vanished soon after. What was that? Sasuke whispered, clutching his chest. His eyes were wavering with anxiety, and his voice was shaky. Lee and Sakura shared a glance of confusion as they looked at their friend. What was that, Sasuke-kun? Lee asked. You didn't feel it? Sasuke replied. Sakura looked at Sasuke with concern. Feel what? After a moment, Sasuke turned away and said, nothing, never mind. It was nothing. He turned his gaze toward the 2 figures entering the building with questions forming in his head. Who are they? And what was that incredible killer intent I just felt? He thought with a shudder. The shadow quietly crawled across the ceiling of the main administration office of Konoha, invisible to the naked eye, as he was skillfully wrapped in a. He passed over many Konoha ninjas, but they all walked by, oblivious. The shadow cautiously avoided the high-risk areas, such as the Hokage's office and gathering rooms. Carefully but quickly, he made his way to one room in particular where he could find the scrolls that he wanted. Peeking in, the shadow scanned the proximity and saw that no one was there. He dropped down from the ceiling without making a sound and started towards a row of filing cabinets. As he sifted through, one scroll caught the shadow's eye. He opened the scroll and began to read it. This is. Just outside the office, Anko was walking through the hallways with a bored look. It's so boring nowadays. I haven't been given a high-ranking mission in so long it seems like. She sighed to herself. I wouldn't even mind being the examiner just for the change of pace. For a long while, the female had gradually begun to feel as if something was missing in her life. I want to fight someone strong. I want to learn something new. I want to do something other than just sit around here all day, she thought in exasperation. What's happened to me? Years ago, when she was younger, she used to push herself in her daily training, physically and mentally. She had made it a goal to learn a new move every week. It was the feeling of accomplishment of learning something fresh that motivated her. Anko loved it. She loved how she could see herself constantly growing stronger every day. She loved fighting against stronger opponents with her new and the adrenaline of undergoing a difficult life-or-death mission. People used to call her a genius ninja because of that attitude. They were amazed at the growth she displayed and her quick development. So what has changed? What had made her become just another ninja in the ranks of Konoha? She knew what it was. Orochimaru. After him, after seeing what power could do to a man, she became afraid of becoming like that. On that day of betrayal, she had lost her power-hungry attitude. Ouch. Anko felt a pain pulsing from her neck. She placed her hand over the cursed seal. The seal again, it's been acting up lately. I wonder why. Anko shrugged to herself. She'll get it checked out later. Walking up to the office room, her hand reached over to open the door but stopped right when she touched the handle. Wait, something's not right here. The shadow finished slipping several useful documents he had discovered into his shirt and quietly closed the cabinet. The shadow's ear twitched. Whipping out a kunai in the blink of an eye, he took a step back hastily and parried the shuriken that was flying towards him. I don't know who you are, Anko began, but we at Konoha don't appreciate strangers looking into our personal files. She examined the man with a critical eye. His identity was completely concealed by the whiskered hunter nin face mask and solid black clothing. Live up right now or else, she demanded. You don't stand a chance against one of Konoha's best, Mitarashi Anko. Anko, smirking confidently, held up several kunai at the invader. If you do give up, I promise I'll let you hey. In the midst of Anko's speech, the man made a leap towards the window and smashed through it. Cursing to herself, she ran to the window and peered out it. The man had landed on a roof below, unharmed, and was currently attempting to escape at full speed. He won't get away. She shouted as she leapt out the window herself and started racing after him. Tsukigakure hidden village of Moon. Did it seem like I suddenly skipped ahead? I didn't want to make it too atlasy, so that's what the last chapter was devoted to. It was supposed to give a glimpse into how Gaara and Naruto would slowly change over the years, but I also didn't want to go into too much depth. There will be numerous flashbacks throughout the story. Gaara and Naruto are wearing the same cloaks that Kisame and Itachi wear, except without the trademark red clouds. They also wear the same type of mask that Haku wore. Thanks for watching my video, leave a like if you enjoyed my video, and also do consider subscribing to my channel for more awesome content. See you next time, till then sayonara.